Good morning and welcome. Welcome to the Byron Center Chamber of Commerce webinar series, Call on Your Chamber. Today's topic is your business socially distancing too? Social distancing too. We will be reviewing 3 things that you can do immediately to boost your social media presence. I'd like to thank everyone for being here today, this morning. We know you have many choices when it comes to webinars, and we appreciate you being here and seeing value in the information that we want to share with you. At the end of this presentation, we'll have an opportunity for questions and answers. So at any time during this presentation, please feel free to ask the questions in the comments, and we will review them and ask them at the end. At this time, I'd like to thank our strategic partners. You'll see them listed on the screen. These are businesses that have gone above and beyond, realizing that their partnership benefits not only their business, but the entire Byron Center area. Without their support, we could not continue to offer thoughtful programming and support to our business community. We're pleased to offer video sponsorships for our webinars. Today's sponsor is BICE Community Assistance Center. I now introduce you to their Executive Director, Janelle Jonkman.
Hi there. So thankful to be here in the support of the Chamber during this difficult time. We're continuing to reach out to the community and provide food for those who are in need. And we're just glad for your partnership in helping this community make it through tough times. We appreciate your prayers and support, both financially or food donations. If you're interested in getting involved, you can check out our website for more details. But most of all, we just want you to take care of your neighbors. If anyone has any specific needs and is struggling to get help, just encourage them to come seek us out, and we're glad to help with food. This is a crisis situation. This is not life failure, and we just want to make sure everyone's taken care of.
Thank you, Janelle. Thank you so much for all that you're doing in the community. I just think that it's amazing how you've been able to shift and continue to serve the community as the needs increase, and we have to think differently about how to accommodate that. You guys have done an amazing job, so thank you from the community, and just continue to do the good work.
Thank you.
I'd now like to introduce today's speaker, Oscar Quesada. A native of Costa Rica, Oscar moved to Michigan in 2014, and after a few years in corporations in Grand Rapids, he established Lifedge in 2017. Oscar and his team have served many small businesses and nonprofits with a vision to walk alongside growing organizations, building an edge and breathing new life into their branding and marketing resources. They specialize in website development, social media management, digital marketing, photography, videography, branding, and graphic design. And now I'll let Oscar take it over from here.
Thank you, Jen, for having me today, and thank you, everybody, for joining in. We're going to jump into it right away. So, is your business social distancing too? That's the question that we are all right now. So let me share a couple of stats here that you should find really interesting about. So social media usage was at April 7th, the New York Times shared a little bit of an interesting thing that probably should shock you, and is that increased time from January to March 2020, actually there was an increase of time on social media usage. We see it on this graphic right here, where websites like Facebook.com or YouTube.com, like social media, Facebook and YouTube, actually have increased time, have increased their usage. And when you see that 27%, that should actually shock you. And then on YouTube, that 50% plus, that should actually shock you too. And the reason is because so many people have said, well, social media is not important. Social media maybe is not working. Well, this shows us that. There is another stat here about active users. There is always really important to know about the usage and the active users. And active users, it has increased in March 2020. And of course, we haven't finished April, so we don't know if it increased or not, but I will bet that it has increased a lot, social media usage too, and active users. So here on your left, you can see this graph put by NapoleonCAD.com about Facebook users in the United States. So in February 2020, there was just over 227 million. And here on the right, you can see on March. Now, you will be seeing, well, it's kind of a similar number. Well, reality it is that Facebook increased 2.5%. And that means that it's more than 5 million people that they are active users. They increased 5 million people in active users. And on Instagram, they went 3.7, also an increase, around 4 million people. Now, I want you to pay attention to this graph because it also has some demographics. And those demographics should interest you. So the biggest demographic that we see there is the people that are from the 25 years old all the way to the 44 years old. If I will need to bet about your business or your organization, probably that's your target audience. So when some people are saying maybe Facebook is going away and maybe Instagram is taking over, the reality is they are all important, and it's all about what you try to do. The real question here is, why should I care about these stats? Why should you care? Why you as a brand should care about these stats? Why it's so important? Why it should shock you? Well, there's probably two reasons. The first one, this is the only way you have right now to connect with your customer. This is probably the only way you have. And the other one, social media is not going down. It is trending up, and it has been like that for the past 5 years. So I want to start saying, really, I don't know why you came here today. Maybe you want some advice. Maybe you want some tips. Maybe you are interested to figure out. I want to tell you something. And from the base, everybody, social media is not going down. It is trending up. Usage has been going up. Active usage has been going up. And maybe we didn't do enough in the last years. But right now, maybe it's the time to get into this. So let me share with you 3 things you can do to boost your social media presence even today. We're going to get started with number 1. Number 1, define your goal. Define your goal. Oscar, why this is important? Well, defining your goal will help you measure. And in social media, almost everything can be measured. And if you're a business owner like me, you like data. You like to really keep things in check. You really like to measure things. Are we working? Are we performing good? Are we doing what we needed to do? And really defining your goal will help you measure if we are doing the right thing on social media or not. Measure if we are actually getting or reaching our goal or not. So defining our goal is crucial to the first part. And then if I will ask you right now, what is your goal? What is your goal? Can you tell me in 15 seconds or less, what is your goal for social media? Because your goal will determine on which platform you should focus your attention. So many people is like, wait, should I be on Facebook? Should I be on Instagram? Should I be on YouTube, on LinkedIn? Well, it all depends on your goal. Is your goal to give some tips, some advice, and be still social? Well, probably Facebook is your deal. But do you want to be more on camera like we are right now? Maybe you're talking more about YouTube. Do you have really captivating pictures? Do you really invest money on pictures and on images? Then maybe you should focus your attention on Instagram. So defining your goal will help you determine which platform you should focus your attention. Maybe there are some of these goals that some marketing terms, some brand awareness. You want brand awareness. You want your brand to be recognizable. You want your business to be recognized there. Well, maybe you want inbound marketing. Is it giving tips, meeting the user where they at? Maybe you just want your social media to have some prospect customers. Maybe you just want to connect. Or maybe you just want to sell. I don't know what is your goal, but we need to figure out that right away. Now, this quarantine throws us a curveball all the time. And I want to ask you, how can this quarantine help us? I have seen, and even with the Vice community, they have tried to adapt or reinvent their business. Why? Because using their online presence is the primary tool of connection, like they just did right now. They just expressed what they were trying to accomplish on these next couple of weeks with your help. And also at the same time, they're adapting to the needs of their clients. For us, it's exactly the same way. When you are defining your goal, thinking about this quarantine, think about how can you adapt or reinvent your business? How can you use online presence or your social media presence as the primary tool of connection? And how can you adapt to the needs of your clients? Our suggestion, write it down. So our suggestion will be, if you want to define your goal today, so invest 5 to 15 minutes writing down your social media goal for the next 90 days. Start with that. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, writing down your social media goal for the next 90 days. So I asked you before, do you know your social media goal? Maybe you said yes. Do you have it written down? Because if it's here, it's okay. But when it is writing down, you're making a plan. You're actually defining that goal. And then I put a time sensitive there, 90 days, because we know that everything changes. We can think about, I can tell you, hey, you need to think about your social media strategy, social media goal for the next year. Well, the reality is everything is changing so much that 90 days is a good term that we can do that. Think about this question. How and why will you use social media to connect with your customers? When you're writing down that goal, how and why will you use social media to connect with your customers? That is really important. So thing number one to do, define your goal. We're going to jump to thing number two, creating relevant and engaging content. Maybe you have heard these words, relevant, engaging. Let me explain why this is important. Creating relevant and engaging content builds trust. Trust, if you are like me, trust is the number one factor in a relationship. And in many cases, it's what makes someone buy from you. So if you don't have trust in the person that is selling you something, and the reality is that you probably will not sell it. But if you have trust and you have a relationship, you're much more likely to actually sell something or just give advice or just build that relationship, just nurture that relationship. So let me tell you a little bit of a story here. So I'm from Costa Rica, and one of the biggest things from Costa Rica is that we don't have an army. That could come as a shock. We don't have an army. And one of the interesting things about this is that when I moved here to the U.S., we're really proud of our army. And I really like movies where there are wars and there's the army present and then there are all these different things. But maybe this is the first time that I want you to imagine this. Imagine that you are in a trench and you are in the middle of a war and you have a lot of people right, left, and right to you. You have a lot of people. Imagine that it is not you who is there. Imagine that is your brand. Imagine that is your business. Imagine that is you, the person that you are looking for to build trust. So let me ask something. If you were the brand there, if you were your organization, if you were the business there, how would you connect with the people around you? How would you connect with him or her? Would you go? Would you do the first step and go? Or will you wait until they actually come to you? What will you say to them? Will you say, hey, hi, I'm Lifedge, how are you doing? Or will you say, hey, what can you do? What can I do to help? What can I do to help? What can you do to help him or her on that time? Imagine you're in the middle of the war. Well, it's not that different right now. We're in the middle of the war. We are in this together. Your business and your potential customer, your customer are exactly on the same trench right now. It's up to us to connect with them. How fast can you do or deliver what they need right now? How fast can you do or deliver what they need right now? Of course, you offer the help. Now, how can you fulfill that needs? What do you need to adapt in your business to fulfill their immediate needs? So you're in this trench. You say, okay, I want to connect with them. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna help them this way. I'm gonna figure out as fast as I can to do it. And now, what do I need to do with my business to actually fulfill their immediate needs? And the reality is marketing has been always about this, always about customer first, always about their needs first. And this is when you are creating relevant and engaging content, you're putting your customer needs first. And that is one of the most important things you can do. So let me tell you a couple of examples of businesses that have been doing this. Probably one of the most known is restaurants right now. The restaurants that we love to go and dine in, they're closed. Well, what do? They're reaching out to us. We're receiving coupons. We see all over the place. Hey, come and shop. They have big signs on their front. We're still here for the delivery. Come and buy from us. They have adapted their business. They have created that relevant and engaging content, and they actually have been connecting more and more with us. The other thing is a construction company or a counseling office. There's a construction company in Holland, Michigan. Their name is Makatawa Homes. They build homes. They really build homes. They sell houses. Now, what is interesting about this is, can you sell a house right now? Can you buy a house or build a house right now? Yes. Should you be selling that right now? Probably not. That shouldn't be your goal. So what did they thought? Well, they thought about the possibility that because everybody is right now in their house, how can we create content that is relevant and engaging for everybody that is in their house? So they thought, well, how about changing air filters? Of course, we all need to change air filters. Probably it's the last thing we do. Well, now that we are 24/7 in our houses, of course, this is super important. So they create a video to be relevant, to be engaging, and to fulfill their customer needs. Or how about a counseling office here in Byron Center? They went ahead and they're like, our place is the best place that you can come for counseling. Well, and what happened? Well, their place is shut down right now. So what did they do? Well, they're communicating like you and me right now. They're doing this telehealth counseling. You can still call them. You can still have that counseling. Or even if you go to their social media, their name is Amplify Life. They have been posting for the last 2 weeks good tips, good advice on how to overcome this pandemic stress. Yes, because it has been stressful. They are creating relevant and engaging content to meet their customer where they at. Of course, if you will be right next to me on a trench, I'll say, I just want to overcome this pandemic stress. How can I get this done? So our suggestion on this case to create relevant and engaging content will be to invest 5 to 15 minutes writing down your answers to these 2 questions. First question, what does my customer need right now, and how can I meet that need? What does my customer need right now, and how can I meet that need? If you are a nonprofit and you are today joining us, just remove the word customer and put donor. What does my donor need right now, and how can I meet that need? And the second question, why should your customer or donor still be interested in you? After all this, maybe in a month that we open all that back up, or maybe it's in 10 days, who knows? Why should your customer still be interested in you? This will help create relevant and engaging content right now. So what does my customer need right now? How can I meet that need? And why should your customer still be interested in you? The third thing that I want you that I want you to learn from today is we need to choose progress over perfection. And why this is important? Because by choosing progress over perfection, you are choosing to start now, and you will not regret it. Let me tell you a couple of examples of people that are doing this progress over perfection right now. Probably will shock you. Churches. We all maybe, or I hope you attend to church, or maybe you don't. But the reality is we cannot be meeting right now. The churches are closed. So what did they do? In less than a week, boom, now they're all streaming. I said this to a couple of churches. Probably Easter Day was the most important day in Christianity history. Social media went boom, exploded by Christian messages because they were doing streaming, because they were using the tool to fulfill their customer, in this case, their people that comes to the churches. They were using that to fulfill their needs. Artists right now, some of my favorite artists has been just going live from their homes. They have been just going they just singing from their homes. And let me explain this. If you think that maybe I'm not good at this or something, when artists choose to do a concert, everything has to be perfect. They have to have the best speakers. They have to have the best mics, the good mixer, good lights. The venue has to be amazing. And right now they're just choosing progress over perfection. Right now they're doing it with a average mic. They're doing it with some winky speakers. They're doing it with some video cameras. They cannot even have their own band there. They're just doing live from their home. They're choosing progress over perfection. And that should mean something to you. Perfection sometimes kills our good ideas. Roddy Vaden, on his book Procrastinating on Purpose, explains multipliers, people that want to multiply their time, we are all doing that right now, says multipliers need to give themselves the permission of imperfect. You have to learn to be okay with things just being okay at first. I'm not saying here we need to choose for mediocrity. I'm not saying here that we need to choose bad instead of good. No. But we cannot let perfection kill our good ideas. Really, we need to start choosing progress to start right now and give us that permission of imperfect. So what is our suggestion for progress or perfection? Define your social media goal. Define that social media goal that we have. Also, answer the 2 questions about creating content that we just had. And then the third one, the probably will push you, is what can you do in the next 2 weeks to push this forward? What can you do in the next 2 weeks to push this forward? Because if perfection kills our ideas, progress will make this move forward. And that's what we want. We want to actually focus only on the next 2 weeks and push social media forward. What can you do in the next 2 weeks to push that out? Simon Sinek is one of my favorite authors. He wrote a book that is called Start With Why. And he came out like last week or 2 weeks ago, and he said this: these are not unprecedented times. The companies that will thrive aren't focused on getting back to normal, but on how to create a new normal. We live in a different world. We definitely do. But the companies that will thrive are creating a new normal. And I will add this to that. The new normal is and has been your online presence for a while already. Your social media, your website, your email marketing campaign, and how you're choosing to use this will make your business thrive after we all, in a month, maybe in 3 months, we don't know when, but when everything is open, focusing on that right now will make your business thrive. So we are here to help you. We are here to help you. And the best example that we can give you is we did this in the last 2 weeks. Lifedge team came in and we defined our goal for this webinar. We created relevant and engaging content for you, and we chose progress over perfection for you on this page that we did for you. If you visit lifedge.online/social, you will see that we created some relevant and engaging content for you. We chose progress because this website could have been much better, but we still chose progress to have this for you. We focus on your needs so you can have this information around the tip of your finger, so you can actually have that. We did that for you, and you should be doing the same for your business and for your customers. So what are you going to find there? You're going to find out an amazing promo that we're pulling up for the month of May and June to help us all out. And then some resources, some relevant and engaging content. Please feel free to reach out there, lifedge.online/social. And now with that, I just want to end and see if there's any questions about this.
Thank you, Oscar. That was amazing. I really, really like the progress over perfection, because even when we were thinking about doing the webinars and how that was going to work, that was something new for us that we were changing. And I kept saying, I don't know if we're ready. I don't know if we can do it. I'm not sure, but we're doing it. We've got a lineup. And it's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. And it's our way of getting out there and communicating with our members right now. We can't socialize. We can't get together and have networking events in the same room. We can't have the same events that we've been planning on, and we're just having to shift and adjust. And I think a lot of what you've said resonated with me, because it's stuff that's doable, but you have to put some work into it.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, no, I believe that is the time that we are on right now. We just need to adapt, reinvent our businesses, and find out how we can help our customers. That's the best way. If you are always trying to help their customers, you're not selling, you're helping, you're serving, and that's where you want to be.
Yeah. Let's give it a few more minutes to see if there's any questions that are going to come through. But in the meantime, yeah, I encourage everybody to check out Oscar's website. Check out our website. We've got some upcoming webinars, some more webinars coming up. Maybe we'll have a follow-up with Oscar to talk about the different applications that you can use and things like that to engage for your engaging content. But we have another webinar this Thursday. It's actually Amplified Life that you were talking about different things to cope with the pandemic. And yeah, so it doesn't look like we have any questions coming through right now. I think maybe you were just so thorough with what you were talking about that you answered all the questions. I'd like to thank Janelle with Vice Community Assistance Center for taking the time to introduce everybody to their organization and what they're doing. And a thank you to Bill Sullivan with Sully Digital for his technical support. We couldn't do it without him. And at this time, this is your Chamber of Commerce wishing you well. Have a great day.
Thank you.